Hey guys, this is Gail from Beantown Bath Bombs. I just wanted to come in and show you guys how I do my 3-pinch swirl technique that I use pretty much with every bomb I make because I really don't like solid colors. But anyway, what I do is I usually use 2 colors, and then I always take just a little bit of white. I don't need much. It just gives it that extra pop. And those are my 3 colors. So get your bombs, your round molds together. Now I'm going to use embeds as well. Now I like cutting mine, especially on, I think it's the 2.25, but I like cutting my embeds in 2 pieces, as you see. Because what I'm going to do is actually make one side of the bomb heavier than the other with embeds. This way we get the spin. Now, I do things a lot differently. So let's get our molds, our embeds, and something to stir with. You can use, to swirl with. You can use your finger, a pencil. I use a paintbrush, whatever you want to do. And then also make sure that you have something to catch what's going to fall, because I make a mess when I do this. So anyway, I've got my colors. Everything is ready to go. It's all squeeze tested. Now what I do is, I know everybody laughs at me, but I go through and I fluff. And I fluff all my colors up. And that's how I like them. So, now I'm not going to fill this all the way up. I actually make what is called a cradle inside. But let's just start with the swirl. So I'm just going to take a pinch of the green, a pinch of the yellow, and a pinch of my white. Now, as you notice, this is nowhere near going to be full, half full, nothing. Okay, can you see that? Try to spin that light. Now, my 3 pinches. Now, what I do is see my thumb, I pinch, pull up, and drop. And then near my 2 fingers here, I pinch, pull up, and drop. Now, spin a 1/4 of a turn, okay? And then you're going to pinch in the middle, and you're going to pinch up and drop. Okay, so now you got this lovely mess. Like I said, you're going to make a mess. Now, when I swirl, I'm not getting in there and swirling it everywhere. Basically, what I'll do is do 2 paths. So inner or outer, doesn't matter what first. But I just barely swirl it. Like, literally, because I don't want to make too much of a mess. Okay, let's see if we can get that color in there some better. Okay. Now, this is my cradle. What I do is I just take my thumbs and I lightly, go around, tap it down. You can kind of already see kind of the pattern that we're going to have on the outside. Okay, now there's a few reasons I do this. Okay, my main reason is to add layers of embeds. That, as well as when you get a round bath bomb and you got the pretty swirl, when it dissolves, even if you use embeds of the same colors, you want that pretty swirl color. To get that, when you layer after this cradle, you want to layer the colors. And I'll show you that in a second. And that's how I found out one of the easiest ways to do it. So I'm going to do the same thing, just a pinch of the green, pinch of the yellow, and a pinch of the white. So I got the same, not much in there. And I'm going to hold it again. Pinch at my thumb, drop up and down, pinch at my 2 fingers, up and down, spin 1/4 of a turn, and pull up in the middle. Now I take my paintbrush and barely just kind of swirl it around. And don't worry if you make this cradle. It can be kind of tricky because a lot of people want to press too hard. You're just lightly tapping it down. Now, when it comes to layers of embeds, and the reasons I cut my embeds, there's a few things you can do here. Now, I can take, and I don't care if I'm using the same color or not, but I can actually take little pieces of embeds and layer them right near the end, right near the outside. Because the closer these embeds are to the outside of your bomb, faster they're going to get to, okay? So I've got that one, and I put 4 little pieces. So this side, I'm going to use a little less. So I'm going to do 1, and I'm probably only going to go 2 on this side, okay? So now we've got a little bit there. Okay, so that's my cradle. Now I'm going to go, and I'm going to say, okay, green. Okay, now I can go in and add more embeds now. So I've got green. I've still got plenty of room. Now I'm not packing down. I'm fluffing my mix in. So let's say I'm just going to add a yellow right there. Now I'm going to do the same color here, green. And, on this one, I'm not even going to add an embed because even that little bit of extra weight is all it takes to get that spin. So now we're going to go to the yellow. So So I fluff and drop again. Now this is where I do things a little differently. I really mound the mix up high, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the mixture pack the mold for me. So we're going to do yellow again. We're just going to drop and drop and drop. Now when I go to put my two halves together, what I go for is you don't want to have to He-Man them together, but you also don't want to have to just push them together and they go together right away. You want that little bit of force. Okay, like this. See? And that's what I look for. Okay? Now again, this is just one of my things. Instead of just tapping tops and bottoms, I tap sides first. What I'm doing is I'm breaking that seal. You know, sometimes you accidentally leave one and, you know, one half of the mold or the other gets stuck. We're kind of helping to avoid that. So I tap the sides, and then the top, and then the bottom, and then I just take one side out. Now, this stupid light, let's see if we turn that off. There we go. Now check that out. You almost always get it to look like a world. Now all I do, because I let these sit there for a little while, I just tap again, and then I let these sit. So you can spray them, you can do with whatever you want with them. I usually spray them with cyclomethicone. I'm just a freak about that, no big deal. And then put it aside. Now, I know it's kind of quick, we're going to do it again. And I'm going to show you another way you can put your embeds in. Using the cradle. And I've found that with that cradle method, with the swirl, being able to layer your colors on each side of your molds the same really does make a big difference. So you're not swirling all that, you know, mix in here and then, you know, putting it down. You're actually creating artwork on the inside as well. So let's do the green and the yellow and some white. Okay. So again, I'm not looking to fill it up at all. I'm just looking, you know, just have a little bit in there. Pinch at the thumb, up and drop. Pinch at the two fingers, up and drop. Now spin, quarter of a turn. Then I go in the middle, pinch up and drop. Okay, so I got that nice mess. Take my brush. And like I said, I just like lightly to kind of move it around. That's my little swirl. Now I do my cradle, so I lightly tap it down with my thumbs. And there we go. Now I'm going to do the other side. So we're going to do a little yellow, a little bit of green, and just a little bit of white. It's the fun part with having that white. I like using the white, but you can use, I've used 5 colors and swirled and, you know, love it. But anyway, again, thumb, pinch up and drop. 2 fingers, pinch up and drop. Spin, quarter of a turn, middle, pinch up and drop. And then again, do a little bit there and just kind of swirl it around. And this. Now, remember how that last one I did the embeds on the side? What you can actually do now is you can take, you know, whole ones or bigger pieces. Say we're going to do 2 blues. And I'm just going to put them right in the middle. Directly in the middle there. So I got them right in the middle. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. You can do different color. I mean, you can do whatever you want. That's all up to you. This one I'll do yellow and turquoise. So I got the same, about the same size embeds on that, and that's fine. So again, this time I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to just barely cover those embeds, okay? So I still have all this extra room now. I can still put embeds. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to do yellow over here again. There we go. Now, I also keep other pieces broken of embeds, you know, all kinds of stuff laying around when it comes to embeds. But again, take your, I usually take 3-4 pieces on one end and just kind of mash them down in there. See, I kind of just put them in there in the mix, okay? Now I'm going to come over here, and I don't want to use as many. So I'm going to use one blue and an itsy bitsy green. And these little pieces, believe it or not, really do make a difference when it comes to the spinning. It's what helps create that spin. You need that off-weight balance. So now I'm going to use my green. So now I'm going to use my green to fill. So I'm just fluffing and dropping. And fluffing and dropping. I make a mess, but I have fun. And same thing, green over here. Now, there is an advantage and a disadvantage. When I am packing them this way, they are going to be super airy, which is good to get the spin, the fast. I like that. But your bath bomb is going to dissolve faster. I usually get about a minute per ounce, which is all I want when it comes to my round spinnies. That's what I want. I have my other recipes that do other things. I pack other ways. But like I said, this is for the round. fast spinnies. So again, I want to put the two together, and I want to squeeze. I don't want to He-Man it, but I want to have to squeeze. So again, tap, 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 and the bottom. And let's see what we get on this one. Oh, see? Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, you just can't, I don't think you can just beat this technique. I love it. And again, I'm just going to spray my little cyclomethicone that I love and tap, 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 set it aside. So, like I said, you can do this in multiple colors, all kinds of things. You can alternate your colors. You know how I was doing yellow, yellow, green, green. You can do it opposite ways. You can also have fill colors, which is also kind of fun too. You know, you got your swirl on the outside, but now you've got all that room to put, instead of just embed, you can put other colored mix, which I've done that quite often too. So there's a lot of things you can do with making that cradle, I think. And that's kind of what I've termed it, because I really don't know any other way to call it. But the cradle can be tricky. So what I usually tell people when you're first practicing to make your cradle. Now I always check my mix as I'm, you know, because I do fluff it up, and you know, so on occasion it will get a little dry, so I just sprinkle a little bit. And yes, I use alcohol. I don't use water or witch hazel. That's just me. I get more control over my colors. To me, like I said, that's me. But anyway, but what I do is I tell people practice. So take a little bits, little bits, little bits. Here we go again. Pinch, pull up and drop. Pinch, pull up and drop. Spin, middle, pull up and drop. And like I said, you can even take your finger and kind of, all right, so now press it down lightly. Okay, sorry about that. Now, to know that your cradle is going to come out, basically all you're going to do is turn it over in your hand. Tap. And you basically want that shape. That's good though, because some people will put it in so tight that it will stick to the mold. So if you get that, you're on the right path. That's perfect. And basically we just put it right back in, swirl it, and we're good to go. So anyway, that's what I call my 3-pinch and a couple swirl technique. And if you want to do the 2 colors and you're working with a smaller batch, use 3. I mean, you only need that little bit of white just to add that pop to it. So I hope this helps. And like I said, with the embeds, practice, cut them up. Don't think you've got to use those big pieces either, because that can also make your bombs sink. Like I said, I use little pieces, and you would be surprised if they are colorful enough. They're going to kick out the color. And like I said, I will even use colors of the same color, just to give it that boost. Again, let's see. We'll go ahead and do one more. And then I take this leftover and spritz it, and then use it as my fill as well. You know, just to use it. But as I said, you'll notice that almost every one of my bombs, even my soaps, cold processed soaps, everything I make, I love to swirl. I just, for some reason, don't like doing the solid colors. It's just me. But again, pinch up and drop at the thumb. Pinch up and drop at the fingers. Spin. Pinch up and drop in the middle. And finger, pencil, you know, there you go. And your thumbs to lightly tap it down. And we can even do this one a little bit differently, actually. We'll do pieces near the side on this end. And there we go. And there. And then what I also like to do sometimes too is take that white when I get near the end of my batch and use the white to fill. It just gives it a really nice contrast when the white in the middle dissolves. So we'll actually just use some of that as a layer. And then on this side, I'm just going to plop 2 right in the middle. And then plop 3 in the middle, just like that. And we're going to use the rest of this, or some of this white. And then I'm just going to put 2 on this side. And I'm going to leave that other one just like it was. And then if you want, we could do, let's see, yellow on that one. And then we'll do green on this one. And then we'll use yellow to overfill. And like I said, you should pretty much always get a floater when you're packing this way, because you are packing so airy. But it can make your bombs dissolve super fast. So now we're going to use the rest of the green. And then what I'll do is in about 24 hours, I will tub test all these pretties, and we'll see what we get. All right, here we go. And again, we want to push, but not He-Man. And we're gonna tap, 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 top, bottom, and there we go. And you know, that one was a little bit goofy because we had the mix, but still came out pretty cool. And then again, I spritz and tap, because I just dented it, but that's okay. And then I think this is the first one that we did. So we're gonna, and that's the other side. Okay, very pretty, huh? So I like leaving them in the mold. Usually what I'll do is I'll set them in the half mold, just because it's how I like to keep them. But anyway, if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to comment, message me. I'll help any way you want. If you have any ideas, any other ways you think that this would be a cool way to do, awesome. I would love to try. I absolutely love trying new ways, and ways that people say can't be done. I like to do it. So anyway, like I said, I hope it helps. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, bye guys.